Okay, so this would be the last video I'm gonna make in this apartment, and the last video I'll make in Baltimore for a while. And I just wanted to kind of say thank you. So recently I finished a apartment tour video, which I filmed in 2014, and I only published it recently. Mostly because I just don't like the idea of working from home at all. And I just had such a good time just living here. Like this is the place where I found myself. I was able to, reconnect with a version of myself that I thought was completely lost. I went through ups and downs, joy, heartbreak, heartache, and just a massive discovery that I think is hard to put into words how significant it is. I think my character is just completely different. I feel like I'm a new person. And today, when I was packing my things, I was like, it took me a while because I spent the last probably week just kind of like thinning it down and like getting less and less stuff. So I was like, what's the absolute bare minimum I can do? And I'm obviously gonna put it on the screen, but I simpled it. I narrowed it down to just a black suit, a gray suit, um, white dress shirts, and a black turtleneck, and that's literally it. Then a few of my favorite books. Obviously my electronics for work. I kept the vest because the vest is my work uniform. I kept my laptop bags. I need that to get to work, and I kept my backpack because that's literally also work. So it's literally just work. And I went through my website and I redid a few articles, and I can say that I'm about to finally publish my first book, right? It's almost done. I feel like right now I have the layout done. So now it's just draft and it's just rewrites. And essentially we're gonna get back, and I figured out a way to tie a majority of my stories together, right? I'm gonna put it up. Unfortunately, I feel like it's just not ready yet because when I do publish it, I want it to be like very cinematic and very, what's the word? Like emotionally, I want there to be like a level of emotional weight that I'm not really able to convey on my own. So it's just a good time to be alive because I feel like I'm finally ready to network and socialize and give back to doing the things that I love. I felt like a creative surge that I haven't felt in literally years. I would say, namely since the COVID-19 pandemic. And I think kind of going into that is going to be the whole point of this chapter, because again the main thing we're doing is we're getting back on track with we're shifting the focus. We're moving away from the military a little bit because I'm not saying I'm done with the military. It's just we got to go a bit further back. I feel like my story really begins in 2015, like January 2015. I had an apartment kind of like this one, and I fell in love and we had a beautiful relationship, and I was writing about the relationship in this apartment specifically when I was like, you know what, let's go back to the beginning of the story, because I think 2020, like obviously if I do it the right way, I can you can see some of my content from 2006, 2007, 2010, all that jazz, which was very well documented. And I was heavy into skateboarding and video games, and then even artworks back then. But then I go to college, 2010, 2012 kind of just fade away, and I didn't really know what to do, and I didn't really have a voice. Wasn't really able to make content like that. And when I came back, started getting the websites, blogs, but it just wasn't the same, and I was never able to connect the dots where I was like, hey, how do we turn art? How do we do art projects with the same level of passion and intensity that we had with these skateboarding projects, where the content isn't just about, doing flip tricks and all that stuff, but actually talking about the paintings, the prints, the books, and most importantly, the insurance products that we sell. And obviously the people that we sell it to and the people that sell it. So how do we turn our social media into a cinematic universe that is just focused on art, romance, obviously, and insurance, where it's like, hey, we sold you this artwork. Hey, if you don't know anything about insurance, we'll tell you about it. And it just ties everything wonderfully together. And, the first book I'm going to publish, it has to be this one. It's going to be called The Portrait of Sarah Rachel Feynman. Because, yeah, man, I what can I say? It's the story of a group of artists known as Theodore. And the website artbytheodore.tumblr.com is old. It's like 20 something. It's got to be like 2015, 2016, I want to say. And so that's 10 years old that I just had this sitting. So the story's been brewing for that long. So I think that it's about time where I kind of like, let me just talk about it. And again, just shift the story, shift the narrative, instead of it being like, oh, like, again, the military stuff is so far down the road, but I think it's already, like, I keep forgetting that I already served in the military, so I don't need to do it again if I don't want to. Like, I've already done enough. I feel like the amount I've done now, it's literally just a matter of, doing insurance the right way and being a priest, because I was writing, I'm about to post on TikTok when I'm done this, and it was like, okay, the question was, what were my accomplishments in the military and what were my accomplishments afterwards? And ever since joining the military, like, I didn't really have that many accomplishments. I got a National Service Defense Medal, so the little ketchup and mustard, I got that bad boy. Got a rifle expert, got a shooting badge, so I was locked in. Got a 10 belt with McMap, and I don't practice these nearly as much as I should because of how busy my schedule is. That hopefully is going to change soon. And what else did I do? I did a lot of art projects that I could have documented way better, but we're going to redo it anyway. I don't care. And I think we're just going to do a whole new unit, because I was like, you know what? I thought about it. It's easier just to do a new unit entirely. There's no point in going back. We're going to go forward, man. I think that's what we're going to do. And the biggest thing, though, in the military was just getting sober. Like, I quit drinking when I was in the military. I quit drinking on March 14th, 2023. So a few days before my 32nd, 31st birthday, one of my birthdays. And I remember the day pretty easy because I had to go to rehab. I went to rehab at Naval Base Point Loma, and Point Loma was amazing. It was exactly what I needed. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize how easy it is to be addicted to drugs or to be an alcoholic. And I think the education is super important. Just moving away from real life and getting a little bit fantastic while having the events as close to real life as possible. Because again, the portrait of Sarah Rachel Feynman is about an artist and an artwork. It's not about the actual person. The artwork is titled that does not necessarily mean it's indicative of the person itself. It's something called satire. So, long-winded introduction aside, I'm gonna wrap it up. I still have like another video to edit before I publish this one, so I'm gonna do that, publish that, and then get this one out there as soon as I can. I don't really care if it's timely or not. I'd rather there be a delay because I don't want people like I'd rather it just like be when I'm trying to move towards like streaming and stuff like that, but I also want there to be a level of like safety, and there's no safety here, so I have to get completely out of this area, go somewhere else where people don't know me as well, where I'm not like in like actual physical danger, you know, when I'm around people I love and people I know, people have the same goals as me, and you know, then I can do my thing. So hopefully, if you guys have not subscribed to me, you know, you can, because I will post scenes and behind the scenes, you know, so you'll be able to kind of see like some of the more interesting stories I got to tell, and they should be pretty interesting.